Hey guys, or as they say in Australia, g'day mates. I'm Mr. Christopher and I am standing right in the middle of Sydney Harbour in Sydney, Australia. Just check out this view. These sites are recognized around the world as some of Australia's most famous landmarks. Thousands of travelers come to this lively city every year to check out these sites. I'm just passing through, so follow me as we hang out with some missionaries who followed Jesus to a part of Australia not too many tourists have seen.
When I say Australia, I work in Australia, they think I live in a city, but it's totally different.
Welcome to Katherine, a slow-paced town in the Northern Territory of Australia. I met up with John and Carmen Baines, International Mission Board missionaries who've been working in these parts for years.
Northern Territory is a big, big area. It's when they say outback, that's what it is, outback. It's just lots of kangaroos, all kinds, snakes and bugs.
Phew, you're telling me. Does anybody know what this is? No. Hey, wait a minute, did somebody say termite mound? Yes! Here in Australia, these bugs really know how to build. Look at the size of this thing. John and Carmen are hard at work in the Northern Territory too. They work with the Aboriginal people who make up the largest portion of people living in this part of Australia.
They're the first people here that live here, so that's why they call them the first settlers of Australia.
Because the Aboriginal people were the very first Australians, their ways have impacted the entire country. Art has been an important part of cultures all over the world for thousands of years, and that's certainly true of the Australian Aboriginal people. They use art to tell stories, and you can see these stories all over Australia on rocks. John and Carmen know that many Aboriginal people need to hear the stories about Jesus. And in order to tell them, they have to travel all over the territory. Oh, hey gang. We're getting ready to head down the track, which is what some Australians say for road. Now, because John and Carmen work with Aboriginals living way back in the outback, they spend a lot of time in this truck. So our first stop of the day will be at the community of Kalkarini. That's about a 5-hour drive, so we better get going. So John, are we there yet? John and Carmen's main job is to teach and train Aboriginal Christians who live in different communities around the territory. This is an awesome way to tell people about Jesus. Because the Baineses can't be everywhere at once, Christians already living in these communities tell their own neighbors, friends, and families about Jesus. My friend Judith is one of the Christian leaders in Kalkaringi.
I was living here all my life. I grew up here.
Judith works in the only shop in town. She follows Jesus by loving the people who come into the store and the people she sees along the way. I met other Christians like Judith in the different communities we visited. They're making a difference right where they live, and because they are Aboriginal themselves, they know the best ways to tell the people about Jesus. Do you remember the rock paintings? The Christians here tell Bible stories with paintings too.
And that's their culture way, telling their story or telling something from their heart. And we use a lot of that to teach.
For the Aboriginal people, looking at a painting is like reading a book. And let me tell you, their books are beautiful. For the Aboriginal Christians the Baines work with, this is the picture for Jesus. Pray with John, Carmen, and the other Christians here that more Aboriginal people want to follow Jesus too.
If there are no Jesus, and I'm praying for them because He loves them. He loves everybody, no matter who we are.
And don't forget to pray for the Baineses as they follow Jesus where the tourists don't go.